All right. Hey, everybody. It's Kelly Williams with the Kelly Williams Show, Bay Area Houston Magazine, and Your Home TV. And it's time for the Kelly Williams Show. Yay! I'm so excited today because I've got the amazing Fred Kienle right on the show, guys. The Attitude Guru. Hey, Fred.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Just fire away. I'm glad I'm honored to be here, Kelly. Thanks.
I'm so excited to have you today. Well, we're going to talk with Fred, find out where he got the name Attitude Guru and what his book is about and everything he does to make your life better. We're going to be right back with Fred Kienle right after this commercial break. Hey, everybody. It's time to tune in and turn on your happy. You're watching The Kelly Williams Show. Don't forget, you can watch it anytime on the best network ever, Your Home TV, and also streaming on Roku. So get ready, because it's time for The Kelly Williams Show. All right. Yay! We're exactly just kind of dancing while that's all happening. Yes. Okay, so Fred, first of all, where are you from?
Okay, I was originally born in El Paso, Texas, but we reside here in Garland, Texas, next to Dallas, and been here for about the last 34 years now.
Nice. It's real pretty there in El Paso.
Oh, yeah, we got beautiful mountains. It's a desert scenery. If you like tumbleweeds and sagebrush and rustic, rugged mountains, El Paso's the place to be. It's really pretty.
Next time I'm in the mood to see those, I'm going to head right on over to your place.
There you go.
Okay, so I want to know, what did you do? Well, first of all, how long have you been an entertainer and a speaker?
Oh, well, the entertainer I've been since I was a little kid. I'm a ham. But I was a musician starting about 1963, really professionally. We started a band in 1963 and was in the music business for a long time, did some recording and ended up in Chicago for 2 years. And that's how long.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. So so that's what you kind of did for your living?
No, I started, I was a journeyman electrician when I had my house. I've been everything, but yeah. That was me, and then I came to Dallas because I went to work for Texas Instruments. And
oh my goodness!
Yeah, I worked there for about 22 years with them and Raytheon, and then I started doing some speaking engagements and became actual professional keynote speaker.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! And how long have you been doing speaking engagements?
Oh gosh, since probably 2007, something like that. I started really doing some small speaking engagements here and there and some little professional things. And then really when just here recently, about 7 years ago, I started really branching out. And after I retired, really started doing a whole lot more speaking engagements. And then I started doing my singing again, and I do some concerts at a lot of these assisted living homes. I love it. Love it. Love music.
So good. So good. Well, Shelly Garrido is saying good morning.
Hi,
hey, Shelly. We're so happy. Shelly, you're going to love this show. Fred is amazing. All right. So thank you for tuning in and share the show. Okay. So Fred, first of all, your title is, you're called the Attitude Guru. Where did you get that from?
Well, everybody familiar, or a lot of people are familiar with Zig Ziglar. Yeah. Motivational speaker for ages and ages and ages. And I got to know Zig the last 2 years of his life. What a phenomenal character. He was one of my mentors before I ever met him.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Ziglar, his son, became a real good friend of mine, and the family's phenomenal. And in fact, he wrote the foreword to my first book, Success with an Attitude, and then my latest book, Leadership with an Attitude. And he just said, I do everything about attitude. Attitude to me is the most prominent thing a person can do. And so Tom Ziglar said, well, you're just the attitude guru. So since Tom saddled me with that, I've been trying to live up to it. I've been trying to live up to that. So, amazing.
That's a big one to live up to. That's amazing. That is very cool, though. I mean, the attitude
I'm
guru.
honored.
Yeah, I mean that's so cool. And I have to tell you, I do love your tie, by the way.
Look, wait,
If I didn't tell you yet.
there's this.
Nice.
That's Benny and the Jets from West Side Story with Tom and Jerry,
Oh,
right? I love wearing funny ties. I wear ties all the time.
I love it. Okay. So, I want to ask you, why did you feel like it was so important to speak to people about their attitude?
Uh, well, I try to make it a summary of that. Through my working career, even when I was in construction and when I was at Texas Instruments and all through my life, and especially at these assisted living homes that I do a lot of concerts and my seminars at, I find people that are grumpy, they're not happy, and they almost make themselves that way by their
Yeah.
attitude about life, getting up. We all go through pains and this and sadness and issues. We all have issues, man. We all have tribulations. We weren't supposed to not have tribulations. But I find out when you change your attitude, you can change your life. And that's one of my main mantras that I live by. And what I mean by that is you change it to a bad attitude, it's going to change your life to that way. And if you change it to a good attitude, and one of my favorite quotes from Zig Ziglar was, having a positive attitude won't allow you to do everything, but it will allow you to do everything better.
Oh, I love that.
And I find it so true in everything you, especially in health. Health with an attitude is one of my favorite ones I do for assisted living homes or anywhere I can. Hospitals, I've done it for nurses and doctors. I love doing it. It's about attitude, and attitude plays a huge, important part in a person's health. And there's a section in there I talk about, I've interviewed several oncologists and about cancer patients and how important that attitude is. And I've interviewed so many, they all say they recover faster, quicker, better. They respond better to radiation treatment and chemotherapy. And every doctor, dentist, professional medical person I've ever talked to says attitude is so, so important to your health.
It's so true. And Fred, I mean, I could not agree more with you. And I think that people forget, it's also the people you surround yourself with, because it's hard to have a good attitude all the time or be positive all the time if you're just by yourself. And you can't always bring everybody up with you if they're constantly negative or unhappy, and so I totally agree with you. It's an attitude, a good attitude, and a bad attitude. They're both life-changing.
They are. They can make a huge impact on everything you do. I don't care if it's financial, marital problems, issues. I don't care what it is. Your attitude plays such an important part in it. It's just so paramount about having a good attitude. And it's hard to be, like you said, it's just when you're by yourself or you're around a lot of toxic people. One of the questions I first ask when I walk into a room is, have you ever walked up to a person and asked them, how are you feeling? And wish you had never asked? They will unload on you every sickness, everything they've had bad happen to them. Oh my gosh. You spend 5 minutes with that toxic person. And the old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And if you can't help that person, run.
Yeah.
Just, do it nicely, but leave that person with a great, I love you, and move off and get around people like you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to run away with your arms flailing and going, I got to get out of here. But you have to, at some point, say, I can't be around that anymore. Yeah. No, I totally agree. Okay. So I want to know, what if somebody's never been to one of your seminars, what can they expect?
I love humor. I love telling fun. I love being a comedian. And so, and Zig even told me, he says, Fred, I don't care what you're talking. I don't care if it's, I do a safety with an attitude seminar. I don't care what the subject is. Start with a joke, get them laughing and giggling. And every, 10 minutes or so, tell another story or joke, make them laugh and get them re-engaged. And it works like a charm, but they can expect that. But the main thing is it re-engages them to where I get to really impress them and inspire them on the fact that an attitude is so paramount, and we have to become our own cheerleaders. We can't just depend on everybody else. Like I said, the toxic people you're around, or sometimes we can get around people like you and other people that are Tom Ziegler's and the Ziegler family and everybody I know. So positive. That's great. When you wake up in the morning, sometimes I don't feel good every day. You're always in a good mood. No, I'm not. I have my issue. But the first thing I do when I look in the mirror, when I get up, I think, God, this is going to be a blessed day. This is going to be a thing. And I might not be feeling too good. Headache, this, that, swelling here, this. No, I'm 78 years old, and there's issues going on here. I don't know why, and it's like, hey. But I say, no, this is going to get, this swelling's going to go down. The head is going to go away. I'm going to eat. It's going to be a great day. I'm going to meet a lot of positive people today. That sets the tone. It starts releasing all the serotonin. There's a bunch of chemicals that are released when you laugh or when your attitude is in a good mood. So that's what helps your body, period.
Exactly. Exactly. It's so true. And it all starts from as soon as you wake up or whenever you catch yourself getting into a funk, of something, you have the ability to turn it around, to turn any situation around and make it better. And yes, Shelley, laughter is great medicine. It is so true. Absolutely. Okay. You perform for, you've been blessed to perform for all kind of audiences, and you go different places. Tell us, about some of the places you perform.
Well, gosh, I even did, I did the safety with an attitude session for all the, maintenance crew at the AT&T Dallas Stadium for the Cowboys. And
oh my goodness.
Raytheon. I did for 600 people at Mary Kay at their assembly plant down here downtown. And I've done several seminars for city governments and their employees. And
I love that.
Great to do because I love because I've been in construction. I've seen some horrible accidents, and I've got over close to 55 plus years in construction. And I hate to see anybody have an accident just because their attitude was their mindset was not on it. And my safety attitudes are it's not about OSHA rules and regulations, which are like watching paint dry. They're terrible. They're boring thing. You go to one, it's boring. Try teaching an OSHA session. So I said, no, mine are going to be different. So mine are different. A lot of fun, a lot of stories and jokes, but a lot of experience. And I want to change. It's about them going home to their family, not about rules and regulations. It's about you being responsible to your family, because if something happens to you, it messes your entire family completely up.
Wow.
That's that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. That gives people a whole different perspective when you put it like that. I love that. Okay, guys, if you are just tuning in, I am with the attitude guru, Fred Kienle, and we're going to be back. That's him. We're going to be back with more fun things. So keep your attitude good right after this commercial break.
Unwind by the water at South Shore Harbor Resort, the premier waterfront getaway located just south of Houston. We are the ultimate getaway with a range of activities for all ages. Soak up the sun by our refreshing pool or spend a day on the water. Pamper yourself at the relaxing spa and savor delicious cuisine at our on-site restaurants. Book your stay now and enjoy a rejuvenating vacation experience. South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. It's time to enjoy.
Nice place.
All right, we're back with Fred Kienle, the attitude guru, ladies and gentlemen. And Fred, we're talking about how much your attitude affects everything in your life, and we're even going to get into more detail in a little bit later regarding health. But one thing that I try to think about every day is, how God wants us to do everything we do with a happy heart. And that's so important, and be happy and blessed that you're able to do what you're doing. Doesn't matter what it is. Do it with a joyful heart, and you'll never know whose life you're going to touch or what difference you're going to make for somebody else being happy, you know?
Great. And you're absolutely right, because in the Bible, it does say a cheerful heart is good for the soul. And it is good. A cheerful heart. And you mentioned the fact you never know who you're going to touch, because it's just like the analogy, you throw a pebble in the pond in the water and the ripples go out. I might be talking to you today, or I might be talking to someone else. And if I can encourage them, inspire them, or motivate them to have a better attitude, the next person they meet, it's that ripple effect. And the other analogy is, like, those, you have about 5 balls, they're swinging back and forth. You take that first ball. Okay. It's the same principle. If you're this ball here, if you got a sour attitude and you hit the next person, it's going to go all through everybody. That negative attitude, and you don't know who you're going to affect. You never know. And that person, 40 people down the road, might need that. They might need that encouraging word, because everybody needs everybody needs to be encouraged, myself included. Just there's no exception. We all go through issues. We have those bad times. And like I said, you have to be your own motivator. Zig had another thing, because people would come up and say, well, how do you stay? I know you're always positive and everything. So says, good grief, you're just always positive. And he would say, I'm here to motivate you and instruct you today, inspire you, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day. And they say, well, this positive mental attitude stuff doesn't last long. And he says, well, neither does bathing. That's why we encourage it daily. So you just got to do that. It's up to you to be your own cheerleader. If we don't have somebody like you or me or Tom Ziegler or Ken Blanchard, who's just a great, he endorsed one of my Leadership with an Attitude book. And you know who Ken Blanchard is? Yeah, the 1 Minute Manager. Man, golly, what an honor it is to have him.
Amazing.
So these people are great. A lot of people don't get that. I tell people, how many people out there watch the news? And I don't.
Exactly.
Stay informed, but please don't let it affect your attitude. You can't do a darn thing about it.
No, exactly. And what's so funny? I was just talking to a girlfriend last night who said, Kelly, you're always seem to be happy. Do you ever get down? And I said, of course I do. But I said, it makes me happier to be a happy person and try to make other people happy. And I said, I used to have people when I was in high school and college, people ask me, are you on drugs? Because nobody's this happy all the time. And I said, well, I am. I've never done drugs, but I am happy. And it's my choice to be happy. So you can either choose to be unhappy or you can be happy with me, but it's amazing. And I want to ask your thought on this. Because do you find it seems like, and this makes me sad, but it seems like young people today, this generation, I guess between 17 and 25, they're miserable at what they're doing at a job. There's no customer service anymore. Nobody's seems happy to be doing anything. And in Fred, it almost seems like when somebody's really happy doing a job, they're the odd one, because we're so now conditioned that nobody's really, like, oh my gosh, they're happy. Wow. Because we're so used to getting people. There's no energy, there's no happy, there's no light anymore. What are your thoughts on that? Do you see that?
Yeah, I do. And here's an amazing thing that happened. When I wrote my first book, Success with an Attitude, what happened was I went through a fast food restaurant, went through the drive-thru, and I rolled up to the box, and I talked to the box, and I said, I want this, this, and this, and the answer on the other side. And I knew the kid didn't listen to what I was telling him.
Yeah.
And I moved up to the window and I got my food out and I looked, it was totally wrong. And I started saying, I said, blankety blank, 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 this stupid kid, what's wrong with it? They just never know nothing. They don't even say that, blah, blah, blah. God touched me on the shoulder and says, why don't you do something about it?
Yeah. Wow.
Me? What am I supposed to do? So that's how success with an attitude. It's about, because you said these kids are good kids.
Yeah,
It's just not being taught at home how to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, how to look you in the
exactly.
eye, how to face people, how to be polite, how to
Yeah,
dress right, how to pay attention, and show respect. They're not being
yeah,
taught that at home. Definitely not at school. And you go
yeah,
through high school, you go through college, and you get out. None of that is ever taught. And so
exactly.
that's why success with an attitude came about. It's about being, why your attitude is so important and why you're important. Every person's important.
Absolutely. It's really amazing. Okay, so this is, this is an even more important topic we're about to move to regarding attitude, because people, I don't even think they realize how important your attitude is regarding your health.
Oh,
It's
fantastic.
crazy. And you almost think people would automatically know it, but they don't, Fred.
They don't. They don't. And it's amazing enough is, like I said, I've been for the last 7 years, even through COVID, I've had to work with Zoom and everything like that to still do my seminars, which I was able to swing, pivot and do. But
Yeah.
live audience, what's really important about that is you see some of the results. I go back and do repeat performances with some of my other seminars, and so many of these people, these seniors that have been in a down attitude, they've had this issue, health issues. When we get older, things don't work the same way. And
Yeah.
so when I go back and they say, you know what, I've been getting up every morning and I've been talking to myself, I've been trying to laugh more, and when you start releasing all those chemicals that God gave us healing powers in our own body, that's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But they don't work with a negative attitude. And
Yeah.
so when
Exactly.
people come and tell me that I feel so much better, the people and say, you know what, the people around me seem a lot better too. And there's a trick to that, because the happier you are, the happier the people around you are. You affect
Exactly.
everybody with your sorry mood. You do. You can just kill them. So it is so important. Your health depends on a good attitude. It really does.
Yeah. And it's, it seems that I remember years and years and years ago, being younger, being at some seminar or something where they were saying, how much they found or discovered that laughing really physically makes you healthier. And it's all the things that it triggers in your body that are good for you. And, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, well, that's such good news. Because I love to laugh. So,
Exactly.
it's so true. And, you almost wish that every hospital, every therapy place would have you there talking, because, a lot of times people going through really stressful health situations, they don't have access to people that are positive or saying, hey, look, or giggling or making them laugh or on a daily
Right.
basis or giving them positive reinforcement. And so it's tough, and I remember I was a psychology major in college, and
Wow.
yeah, exactly. I know what you're thinking. No, I and I remember thinking that I thought it would be fun to do a research on people who were sick and the ones who had to stay in the hospital and the ones who were able to go home, who healed better. Because some people would think, well, I would assume it would be the people in the hospital because they're being taken care of 24 hours. But it was the people who got to go home because they were happier and they had positive reinforcement. And it wasn't, and there, of course, there's different situations for that, but it reminds you that an attitude, what you're around, the people you're around, and what your attitude is so important on a daily basis for your health and happiness.
Exactly. You can you can spend, in fact, several times a day. Sometimes things come up, things happen, and I think one statement that Charles Swindoll did in his speech about attitude, how important it is. And he goes through this whole long speech about it's better than your skills. It's better than this.
Yeah.
It can ruin or break a family. It can destroy a company. It can, your attitude. And the last statement he says is, and it's been said before, it's 10% of what happens to you, issues that show up. But the other 90% is how you react to it. And that is so important. And he says, and that's the one string you can play on, and that's your attitude. And that is so absolutely true, because if you hit an issue and you get all depressed, something happens, you can panic, you can, oh my God, what am I going to do? Look at this, my finances, this, that, whatever, health issues show up. And I had some health issues in the past, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit if you want me to.
Yeah.
But it's also important, because if you get in this rut of being in a bad mood, sorry mood, or feeling sorry for yourself, you cannot make good decisions. You cannot come up with good solutions. All you can do is cry and moan and groan and put yourself deeper and deeper and start digging a hole. And sometimes you dig it so deep, you cannot get out of it. You just can't. So
no, and it's, and that's what I want to, these young people that I find just seem so unhappy and their attitudes are terrible when they're working and they're supposed to be in these customer service oriented positions, that are, and it's awful. And you want to tell them, if you would just change your attitude and be happy, you would be amazed at what you can be doing with your life, or how you never know who you're going to meet at this job in the drive-through window that might say, that's who I need to run my company. That's who I need to be. That's something, because their attitude, they're so nice. They're so amazing, and I think people miss out on opportunities because of their attitude a lot of times,
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So if you are just tuning in, I am talking with the attitude guru, Mr. Fred Kienle. He is incredible. We've got so many more things to talk about in just a minute that you're going to love. So stay tuned, grab your coffee, grab your mimosa. We're going to be right back after this commercial break.
Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events wants you to come party with us in 2024. Mark your calendar for Saturday, May 4th, because we're calling all Star Wars fans with a costume contest and an awesome Star Wars prize. Then on Saturday, August 10th, it's a Hollywood Night of Dreams with music, games, contests, and surprises. Both parties will be at the beautiful South Shore Harbor Resort with amazing food, fun activities, live entertainment, and a cash bar, plus some additional surprises. Saturday, May 4th and Saturday, August 10th. Come party with us. SYCE. More than a yacht, it's serendipity.
Sounds like a fantastic cruise.
Yeah, I know. So exciting. Okay, so we're back with my new friend, Fred Kienle, the attitude guru. This show is amazing. Please share it because there's people that need to be watching this show today. Okay, Fred. So we've been talking about how your attitude affects really your life, how it affects others, and how it affects your health. And you've written, how many books have you written?
Well, I've written 3 right now. I'm working on a 4th.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Your book, Leadership with an Attitude, it has a tall selling ship on it for the cover. Why did you pick that as the cover of your new book?
One is I've always been so fond of sailing ships. As you can see behind me, I just got every one of those plates are a sailing ship, and even the modern ones. On the other side, on this side of me, I've got the Starship Enterprise, which is still a ship, and Captain Kirk was always a fond of tall sailing ships. But the reason I chose that for the cover is that a tall sailing ship can only move forward. It cannot go in reverse. And you can just think of the amassed energy and power that those sails, when they unfurl those sails, how it captures the power of that wind to move that tremendous heavy ship through the water at such great speeds. It's just phenomenal. And it takes an entire crew of organized people to trim the sails, do this, pull the jib, a trim, a floral this, turn that. Even the cook, if you don't feed those guys, they can't do their job. If you don't keep it, if you don't keep a little ale handy, then you're in trouble. So it takes a crew to run that ship, but it takes a leader to steer the ship, to know where he's going, to guide those people through that. So that's why I call about leadership with an attitude. Everybody can be a leader in their field. If you're the person that swabs the deck and keeps things clean and out of the way and uncluttered, you're invaluable. It's just like the leadership with an attitude. Everybody thinks, I work with so many people and they'll hear them say, I'm just a janitor, or I'm just an electrician. I come here every day. I just do my job and I go home. I'm not important. Bull.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Everybody, if you drive up to a parking lot, you're going to do some business, and parking lot's got faded lines in it and cracks all over and holes, and you get out of your car and you got to walk over here and the weeds are piled up over there and the sidewalk's crooked. You walk up and you pull the door handle that's loose. You walk up to the customer service lady at the desk or the guy at the desk and you say, and they say, yeah, can I help you? Everybody's important because they make the impression on that company. I wouldn't do business with that company. So everybody has value. And one of the janitors asked me, because I was talking about it, he said, well, I just want to be a janitor. I don't want to be a leader. And I said, well, you don't have to be the boss to be a leader. What you have to be is the best you can be. You have to be the best janitor. And I said, have you ever gone out do you work on the internet? Oh, yeah. Go out and Google how to be a good janitor. What are some janitorial tips? I did that and I got, how you can get pages and pages and pages of information. I said, you go out there and find the best way to clean a floor, the best chemicals to use, the best way to clean a mirror, the best way to clean a bathroom, the best way to polish a floor, the best way to do this. I said, by doing that, you start saving yourself some effort and time. You're getting an education, and the other janitors start looking at you thinking, what old Fred's doing over there? He's saving a lot of energy and time. All of a sudden, this janitor becomes an example that people want to follow. And the minute you become an example, you're a leader. In company organizations today want and need leaders at every level of their organization to be an influence on everybody else around them that they touch or talk to. So that's why leadership it's an everybody job, and everybody has value and everybody has an important job to do. It's not just I'm a this or I'm a that. You're an important part of that cog in the wheel. And if you want to, let me talk about that. Ever seen a pocket watch or a nice old switch watch with all the gears in it and everything? Beautiful, intricate. And I said, you always say I'm just a cog in the wheel. Well, break that little cog off in one of those wheels and the watch will work just fine until it gets around to that one place and it stops.
Yeah.
You are important. You are not just a cog in a wheel. You're part of an integral machine, period.
Absolutely. And you saying that it reminds me of, when my children were little, they went to a private Christian school. And so I was working at the school when they were little, and I was working in the cafeteria. And one of my jobs was to sweep after different classes came in. And I'd sweep and I'd be happy and I'd be smiling. I'd be saying hi to all the kids. And I remember this one little boy actually asked me, why are you so happy sweeping? And I said, I'm so glad you asked me that. I said, because I love that I'm able to make this place clean for all of you to come eat, and it makes me happy. And so I try to do a good job at it. And I thought, I loved that. I'm thinking, he noticed that I'm always happy, and I'm doing something that he would not want to do, or his mom probably doesn't want to do at home. But I thought, I loved that. And so you're exactly right. Every little bitty job is so important, and you don't have to be in front of the room to be the leader. It's those people who are working hard and doing their jobs to the best of their ability and being an influence on others, an example for others. I agree with you.
I was on a construction, and I use this in the book too about leadership. I walked up to one bricklayer, and he was just laying, put the mortar down, and he put a brick there and cleaned that off and everything. And I walked up and said, "Hey, how are you doing today?" He says, "Oh, same old, just another day here. I just come here, I get here to work, I take a break at 10:15, have some coffee, go back, have one break after the other, then I go home." I thought, wow, okay, good. Yeah, it's great. Well, it looks good. I went down 20 feet. There's another bricklayer. He's whistling and he's taking care and he's fixing those bricks and lining them up. And I says, "Hey, how you doing?" He says, "Great. I'm having a great day." I said, "Why is your day so great?" He says, "Look at this." He said, "You know what? Years from now, there's going to be a beautiful building standing here, and I'm laying the foundation for this. And so it's so important that I get these just right, because when I drive by it or people drive by it, I can say that I laid the foundation for that." It's the same job. We all have 8 hours to put in, or whatever we're going to put in at work, or whatever you do. And you can either live in misery and spend all day moaning and groaning about it, or have a great day sweeping the floor like you did. It's up to you. It's a choice. That's all it is. A choice.
It is a choice. And I think that is one thing that is not taught enough to this younger generation, that happiness in a positive attitude is all your choice. And everybody, so many people come from hard places in life and hard times, and we all go through it. And that's good. That makes you even a better person. But like you said, 10% is what happens to you, and the other 90% is how you react to it.
Perfect.
And it's all that choice that we have. And I love that. I love it, Fred. It's so many people, like you said, devalue what they do for a job or their career. And they feel like once they get to a point where they're looking at retiring, or they're looking at going, "Oh my goodness, okay, this is what I did with my life, and I'm about to come to the end of that part of it." You want people to feel happy about what they did with that time. It doesn't matter what they did, It's about helping to make sure you changed other people's lives and made things happy and did a great job.
Exactly. And I tell people, if you're really unhappy in your job, there's a solution to that. Look for something you like to do. Keep the job you have. Look for something you like to do. And if you need to get more education, go get a little more education. Look it up online. Take a course. Do whatever you need to do. And then start putting feelers out to places that have positions that you want to do, what you decide to do. And then once you get that, then you can quit your other job, period. But it's all about decisions to make. And if you're just going to sit there and, like you say, by the time you try, I spent 67 years of my life that stupid company. Why? If you're that unhappy, do something about it. It's a choice. And if you don't make those choices, right? And if you're in a bad attitude, if you have a bad, sour attitude, those good solutions won't come to you. A lot of people like being stuck in a rut because that's what they do. You can't make them drink that water.
Fred, do you think that fear comes into play of people not having a good attitude a lot of times, because they get scared of what other people think if they're too happy, or if they start making changes in their life, or they're scared to make a change? Do you think that's a factor?
Yeah. Fear is the enemy that Satan uses all the time to keep you tied, locked in and stuff. It's fear of, well, what if I'm making a good money here at this job. I don't like it, but I'm comfortable here. The benefits are okay, and everything's solid. My house, I can make my house payments, a car, I can buy gas, food, everything. If I stretch out, what if I mess up? What if I don't make it? Wow. Boom, fear hits you like a ton of bricks. And it's the people that say, okay, they have to overcome that fear. And you can't overcome that type of fear because it's disastrous. You can't overcome that kind of fear if you have a negative attitude. The formula doesn't work. I don't care what you write on the board, F squared equals 22/7, but equals whatever. It will never work, because if you have that fear attitude going into it, you're almost doomed to failure. So you have to change that attitude. That's why an attitude is so important.
Yeah. And you talk about how, a bad attitude can even affect your faith,
Oh, yes.
you know?
That's the fourth book I'm writing, Faith with an Attitude.
Wow.
So,
Tell us, why do you think that your attitude is so important that it could actually affect your faith?
well, faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? And things not yet seen. And we all live by this attitude now. Everybody, I've got to see it to believe it, And
Yeah.
faith doesn't work. It does not work that way. So that fear comes into play there. And even though they go to church, they fellowship, they read parts of the Bible and everything like that, but still faith, we've all been given the same amount of faith. It's a gift that God gave us. It's a gift. We don't have to do anything. Once we accepted Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, it's that gift that's inherent. And if you misuse that gift, it's still there. But if you start misusing it with your attitude, and things come against you, Satan works 24/7. He will beat you up with everything possible, guaranteed. He never quits, especially if you're doing things right.
Exactly.
And so all of a sudden, when he starts bringing your attitude down by, the car broke down, this is that, the baby's sick, the dog is sick, this happened here, whatever the issues are, when those start cropping up, your attitude starts going down and say, well, God, what am I supposed to do? I guess there's nothing else I can do. I just got to, get through it. And it's like, no. That's when you really got to get strong and say, you know what? There's the 93rd Psalm, and the part in there says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I keep in my seminar and in the book that I'm writing, I say, do you pay attention to the word through?
Yeah.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The valley of shadow of death is always there. Some issues showing up. But God says, go through it. I'm there with my rod and my staff. They'll comfort me. I go through it. No, people get so discouraged that their faith kind of goes to the side, and they set up camp and they live in that misery or memory of the problem that they're in, and they don't go through it with the fact that God will get you through it. Not that we won't have tribulations. It's the fact that we'll go through it and get to the other side.
Yeah,
it ain't easy.
No, and it's not supposed to be, and that's okay. I think people have we're in this Instagram world right now that these children are growing up in as well. Everything's now, I can make myself look like anything. It's all fake reality that life is easy and beautiful and wonderful. And, the first sign of adversity, you crater and there's no backbone. And this is, it's heartbreaking,
It's bad.
And Fred, you just reminded me, when I was at a youth camp years ago, from my church, the youth pastor actually,
I lost you.
hello? I know it. Hold on. I think we're still on, but I don't know if we're still on. Huh? I can hear you. Okay. I think we're gonna have to start the show again.
Okay, what do I need to do?
Okay.
You're frozen. I'm still moving, but you're frozen.
See,
I can hear you, but you're frozen.
I can hear you, but we're both frozen. So it's internet.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you another link, and we're going to finish the conversation. Okay. And then I'll attack. Yeah, we're going to back out of this one, and I'm going to end. It says we're live, but it stopped actually. Okay. So I'm going to end it, and then I will send you a link, and then we'll restart.
Okay. I'll look for it in the email.
Watch your email in just a minute. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. So I'm trying to get my guest back right now because we had technical issues. Not sure what happened there. So hang on one second. All right, we are going to end this one and come right back for the third part of our show. We're going to wait just a minute. It looks like we are still live. Dominic, if you're still watching, can you tell me if you can still see the show? Looks like we have more viewers on right now. Will somebody let me know if I am still on the air? We had some technical issues and I'm bringing back my guest so we can finish the show. All right. Not sure if this is still live. Okay, there's Fred.
And there you are.
Hey, there you are. Okay, so it looks like we are still live. So
Okay.
I'm asking the audience if anybody is still. There was still a couple of people watching when it went off for a minute. So I'm
Okay.
trying to see if somebody can let me know if we're still live. So, and if so, it looks like it is on mine.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just gonna
Continue.
let me hang on one second. Okay, I'm having somebody just check. We had more people commenting, and
Great.
I just want to make sure that we are still on, that we're back on for the third part of our segment.
Okay, great.
Okay, hold on, Fred.
No
Every
problem.
once in a while, internet will do this. So let's see if I can, if anybody will. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to set up a whole nother, we're going to stop right here and we will come back on a new episode with our last segment. So Fred, stay tuned for your next, hold on. Well, you know what? Let me see if it's selling. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and finish. It looks like it's still
on. Okay.
on the air and we're going. And so here we go. Okay, guys, if you've been watching, we are back with Fred Kienle, the Attitude Guru. And this is the third part of our show. We're going to go ahead and finish out. Fred, I want to know your life, your main mantra in life is change your attitude.
Change your life.
I want to know what made you feel so strongly about that is literally what you stand for, you talk about, you live every day?
It started actually when I was getting into music. In 1963, I formed a band called the Torquettes. There were just three of us, three crazy little kids, just just out of high school. And I always wanted to play music. I always wanted to entertain. I wanted to be on stage. So we started playing music. And the first gig we had was like some little dive bowling alley. I don't know what, but we were so excited.
Love it.
I watched people, because you start trying to pay attention. Do they like us? Do they don't like us? Whatever that is. And so when they didn't like you, I was really down or whatever. So I started really being a people watcher, paying attention to how they react to what we did. The songs we played, the music we did, the way we talked, what we did, and how we treated them on a break. And so all of a sudden I found out that, especially we were the house band to a really nice club, the Knights Club in El Paso. Which was right near the international airport. So we got a lot of people in there. We were there for 13 years as the house band.
Wow.
Yeah. As the
Oh my
sixth
goodness.
And it was phenomenal. And we played 4 nights a week consistently. And we'd watch people. And towards the end, when I finally, kind of left the music world in that respect, I started really watching people. They come in there and have a few drinks and everything. And a lot of it was fake fun. They were having issues and problems. They would come to the club to try to get around this, like you say, this levity, this inspiring, this more dance and get that energy out and feel good. But then when I'd sit and break on the breaks, I wasn't just so much in tune with, how do you like the music? You having a good time? Blah, blah, blah. The drink's okay. It's okay. I'll say, what's really wrong?
Yeah.
And you find a lot of people going through a lot of issues. And I start paying attention to the ones that were really, truly having issues. Their attitude was actually bad. When you really take away the glamour of the drinks and, I'm having fun dancing, there's a facade, a fake face. And these people were having these issues because they weren't coming up with good solutions. And almost on a psychological look, say, well, have you considered just, changing your attitude about what you're doing and maybe changing a few things? Some did, some didn't. I noticed the results. So I thought, wow, what a and then the people that come in and they were having a good time. They came in having a good time. They had a good time. They left having a good time. They lived a good time. And you could tell by their attitudes, moods, the way they talked, the way they talked to one another. So that started driving me towards how important an attitude really is. Because I've been blessed. Dear God, thank you so much. Because a lot of times when I get down or something, I got to find a solution. I got to do something better. What can I do? What can I do to change this? And jokes I've loved telling jokes. I love telling stories.
Yeah.
And that's the entertaining part of me. When I can make other people laugh, that Bob Hope, I've used that in part of my seminars. Bob Hope lived to 100 years old, making people laugh. And in turn, making himself laugh. George Burns, 100 years old.
Yeah.
These
amazing. So good. Okay, guys, we're going to be right back with our final segment with the amazing Mr. Fred Kienle, the Attitude Guru, right after this commercial break.
Kelly Williams, the great host.
Thank you, Fred.
P3 Roofing provides knowledge and service in the roofing industry in the greater Houston area. What sets us apart is the customer service. It's what the 3 Ps stand for: professional, personal, principle.
Of course, you're always going to give somebody a chance, and they blew me out of the water, and my clients out of the water.
I was most impressed by the efficiency. It blew my mind that it could be all done in one day.
Their work is above and beyond.
We work with the insurance companies to make sure you don't get cheated. Call P3 Roofing today for a free consultation.
All right. And we're back with the amazing, the Attitude Guru, Mr. Fred Kienle. Fred, this has been, I could literally sit here and have a 4-hour show with you so easily. It's incredible. You're just amazing. I want to ask you, what do you love most about what you do?
Oh, God, it's the ability to affect other people and change their attitude and see some of the results. And like I said, maybe it doesn't stick as long with them, but for that minute, or for that hour that I'm doing my seminar, you can see the change, and some of the wheels start turning, and somewhere down the line, they're going to go be doing something. I think, no, you know, that crazy guy that was here telling all the funny stories and jokes and stuff. He said something about, you know, being your own cheerleader and saying positive affirmations out loud.
Yeah.
Out loud. Because in the Bible, it said, you know, you have to speak things to existence out loud. And if you're just mumbling to yourself, you got to say, you know, I was diagnosed with a really severe case of debilitating rheumatoid arthritis 30 some odd years ago.
Wow.
And they painted the horrible picture for me. And I thought, they said, well, in a couple of years, you're probably going to have both hips replaced and everything. And I said, no, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
No. I'll do whatever you want, take whatever medication, exercise. What do you want me to do? But I'm going to use this, my attitude, my soul, my heart, my spirit, the Bible, everything that way. And so I get up and do I have swelling stuff like they said within a couple of years, I'd have probably both my hips have to be replaced. Well, I haven't had anything replaced.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's just, I get up, I do things. My wife has a honey-do list, 47 miles long. And we do things. We walk the dogs. We work on the yard. We do this. We do that. When I do my singing concerts, I'm bouncing all over the stage. You've seen Mick Jagger and stuff like that. Well, that's close. So I never quit. I don't stop.
Yeah.
And I say I'm going to get through this because I'm going to and just work it out. And I do exercises. But a lot of the doctors that says I'm amazed at, you know, it's serious case of rheumatoid arthritis that you have. You're amazing. So that's why I tell it, if my hand starts swelling up, my shoulder, my knee, my ankle, whatever, no, this is going to get better. This is going to get better. And I look in the mirror and I said, hey, you're a good looking wild dude today, man. You're just going to go for it. And it's going to be a better day. There's where the faith comes in. That's where your attitude about your faith, everything in conjunction. God gave us this ability and it works.
Absolutely.
It's not a cure-all, but it works.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I want to know what advice you would give anybody today struggling to have a good attitude.
Okay. The main thing is every person out there that has issues, write these issues down and then put a positive spin on it. I know this swelling in my knee. I know this issue. I know my finances. I know this. Write a list on, say, my finances are going to get better. There's going to be a way. My health is going to get better. This is my marriage, my relationship, whatever it is. I'm going to have a good day at work today. I'm going to be positive about what I do. I'm going to be the best me I can be. Put that list on your mirror and start your day. When you get up, it's not about how you feel at the moment, but how you look at that list and say, no, today is going to be, and start saying those things out loud. And then once you start doing that, then you have to follow through with it and start saying, no, when things happen, you really have to get on board and be your own cheerleader. And like you said, if you get around toxic people at your work and stuff like that, there's enough of them there, and just say, I love you and all this, but then move over and find some people that are positive, some people that have faith, some people that are true Christians that don't just go to church because, I think Joyce Meyer said, just because I go sit in a garage doesn't mean I'm a car.
Yeah.
Just because I sit in church don't mean I'm a Christian. Please be a Christian. Be what God wants us to be, disciples. Go out and share this knowledge. And then when you start feeling better about yourself, share it with anybody you can with a big smile on your face.
Absolutely. And just a reminder what we talked about, you'll never know whose day you're going to make better. If you just share a smile with them and a kind word, it can make all the difference in the world to just one person. And
one at a time.
Like the little pebble you said, you throw a pebble in, the little ripple just right there. One pebble can make ripples throughout just a huge, area.
You never know where they're going to go.
You don't know where you're going to go. Okay, Fred. So I want to know, how can people buy your books?
Okay, they're all on Amazon. The first book, Success with an Attitude, is only in ebook, for Kindle and stuff. But the second book, which is Health with an Attitude, is available on Amazon through either paperback or ebook. And in the third book, Leadership with an Attitude, is also on Amazon, ebook and a paperback. Okay, so you can go to Amazon and look up my name and put in Health with an Attitude, Success with an Attitude, Leadership with an Attitude. I hope probably by the first quarter of next year, we'll have Faith with an Attitude out there.
It will. I'm excited for you. I'm so excited. How can people follow you on social media?
Okay, the only social media I really work on heavily is LinkedIn, LinkedIn. So that's where I saw you and Charles Hammond, all of these people. I mean, there's a group of people that are out there, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the other place is on my email. I do everything on email. I don't have a website and stuff like that because my email address is F, as in my first name, we read it below, and then the last name, Kienle at AOL.com.
Okay.
Kienle at AOL.com. Send me if you need some encouragement or something. Send me an email. Get in touch with me. Get on LinkedIn. Connect with me, please.
Awesome. Y'all need to go follow him on LinkedIn. He's amazing and always has positive words to say that make you happier every day. Fred, I have a question. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Gosh, there's a superpower. I don't know. I have a superpower. That's the Holy Spirit that lives within me. That's right. And I already have it. So I can't go any further than that. That's better than Batman or Superman or any of them.
Well, that's a good answer. I love it. I love it. What is that? What is one of your favorite foods that you can't imagine not being able to eat?
Fried chicken.
Chicken?
Fried chicken.
Oh, fried chicken. Oh,
fried
yeah.
Chicken, yeah, really crusty, nasty, old, greasy.
Ooh, there's nothing better.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, Fred, I cannot thank you enough for spending your morning with us and giving us so much good advice and talking to us about how much a good attitude can change your life and the life of others, and how important it is for every aspect in your life. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today like I did.
It was delightful. I was honored. Not only that, you are such a delightful, easy to work with host. You know, you're just bubbly. You're off the chart. You're just all over the place with your smile, your attitude, your eyes light up, and you've been delightful to visit with. And I hope your audience just enjoys your show and watches it faithfully a lot because you have a lot of great people on, and I'm just fortunate to be one of them. So
thank you so much, Fred. Well, I'm extremely blessed to have you today. Thank you so much. Guys, you can watch the Kelly Williams Show anytime on your home TV. And Fred and I hope you have an awesome and blessed rest of your day. Check out the Attitude Guru on LinkedIn, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, folks. Nice seeing you, talking to you, whatever. God bless.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.